Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to End Around with Tyler Tafolla. I, as always, am Tyler Tafolla. With me, as always, my co-host, Anna Duchi. Like I say, thank you again for sticking around for now all 3 episodes of End Around. This is our 3rd one. And with us today, whoa, guys, we have someone new in the studio today, Miss Bethany Slomka. Yes. She is wonderful. And
shout out to my fans.
Her number is no.
Oh, yeah. To all 3 of you, thank you so much. Hi, Mom.
Yep. But yes, Bethany is our guest star today, and we're so excited.
Guest star?
Yeah.
Oh, because it's a Broadway thing.
Yeah, it's a Broadway thing.
Yeah. So it's a guest star.
Yeah, guest star.
Incredible.
Yes. She is wonderful. I have known her for many years. She is a San Diego-based actor, performer, teacher who has performed in many companies here in San Diego, including, but not limited to, SDMT, Moonlight, Lambs Players, and the Old Globe. She made her name as Tracy Turnblad in San Diego Rep's production of Hairspray, which is a role she has reprised for 2 times after that, and she is so incredible, so amazing. One of the most important people in my life, Miss Bethany Slomka. So
that was so sweet.
Yeah, I've buttered her up so we can keep her here and talk to her.
So we can tear her down.
Tear her. Yeah. But yeah, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited. I was trying to find a picture of the 2 of us because my first theater experience was, I think I told you, doing Wizard of Oz, and this girl was 12 and singing Dorothy and belting her face off, and I was a little, yeah.
Which is funny because it's like Dorothy's not really a role that you're like, that girl needs to belt her face off. But I was 12 and I was like, here I am.
The team is like, no, we're belting her this time. Yeah.
It's like pretty much all I could do, like nothing else. There's a photo somewhere that exists that is
the 2 of us.
Us. And you're a little Lollipop Guild guy.
My
and
peak.
I'm Dorothy.
Yeah,
Your peak.
So it's all downhill.
It's all been downhill.
Yeah. The people watching for the first
We're
time.
We're actually here to talk to you about that today.
Yeah. This is an intervention.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For coming.
Yes, but I've known you forever and just,
Yeah, I think
always.
that was 2002.
Yeah. I was 8 and it was my first show.
Wow.
And
almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Dang.
So, yeah.
Lighting your cigarette?
Yeah.
Because you're old?
Because I'm old. Speaking of sponsors, I forgot to mention them.
Yeah.
Verb Energy, guys.
Yes,
Verb. Verb. That's what's happening.
Shout out.
Yeah. If you click our link in our Instagram, it will take you to a discount code that will give you $13 off your first sample of these. And we got a sample bag just a couple weeks ago.
Wow.
And there was chocolate chip banana bread, and it was like vanilla bean and double chocolate, and we're gonna feel these later. So
word on the street is they give you energy.
They give you energy, and I'm feeling
Word on the
it.
street.
So.
Word on the street, yeah. There's just like buzz around town.
Whoa, yeah.
Because like that's like an industry term, like buzz. Like what's the
yeah.
buzz?
Like
you
the
know?
caffeine
What's the
buzz.
news?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
It's going well.
So, yes, side note, now we're back to Bethany.
Right,
Okay.
sure, okay.
Yeah. So, Bethany, I was
Yes.
just talking about that to someone the other day. I never start a conversation with, so, Bethany, because you're always like...
Yeah, it feels like, oh no, what?
So, Bethany.
What did I do?
Yeah.
What now?
I know you, growing up, you have your sister has a lot of siblings who... we were all doing theater together, and I was wondering if it was like always Von Trapp family, and like you're always singing when you were like
Yes.
at home. Yeah.
Well, yeah, so we loved the movie Sister Act 2 growing up.
Yes. Joyful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I know.
at many family gatherings, we would turn on the track, and my sister Catherine was always the one who was the Lauryn Hill singer in the beginning. And then we learned the dances, and we would do it at our family gatherings.
You learned the whole dance
awesome.
from the movie.
Yeah, I mean, and learn is like a stretch.
You
We
added
got
your own
some of
flair.
the key movements.
Yeah.
And then we would just like act it out and
Would you do
dance
the
it out.
rap?
Joyful, Lord, be adore thee, and in my life I put not before thee. Yeah, I did the first part.
Yeah.
And then another sister took the second part.
Excellent.
Yes, we all have done theater.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the only one who really stuck with it.
You made it.
But my mom is an elementary school drama teacher.
Amazing.
And so theater's just been in our family. Her aunt, my great aunt, is a woman named Marnie Nixon, who is in some realms like famously known, but other people know of her but don't know who she is. But essentially she was the ghost singer for Natalie Wood in West Side Story, for Deborah Kerr in The King and I, for Audrey Hepburn in... I could have danced all night. What was that?
My Fair Lady.
My Fair Lady, thank you.
I lost it.
She's been on Broadway. She was a remarkable woman.
Yeah. Legendary.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
So anyway, so theater has just always been in the family, and my mom and all of her brothers played instruments, and my mom is obviously very passionate about theater and drama, and so she kind of put us all through that. Just like, and in our church plays, and my mom was always the director of the church plays, and so got my big start.
A fun part of childhood and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was like a mouse in a church play. In the manger scene,
Did you, and that's when you knew. That was
I
your
knew.
moment.
That was the moment I knew.
Yeah. Do you have a moment? Do you have like a, whether as a kid or
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I remember a couple things. It's weird when you're an adult to be like, what's a memory and what is a story someone's told me about myself?
Always. My mom says after my first audition for theater, I came up to her and said, "Mom, I'm going to do this forever." And just like,
but you don't remember that. But you now remember it because she told you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Mm-hmm. Totally.
I do remember, I think I was really young. I was between the ages of like 4 and 6 maybe. My grandparents took us to see the Phantom of the Opera at the Civic. It was touring.
Oh,
and I remember, I think they asked my parents, like, I was very, very young to sit through, A, an entire show, but then B, like, a show,
How
Phantom
old
of the Opera. Yeah. Between 4 and 6.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
My mom will correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But something very, very young. And my parents and my grandparents were like, oh, because I sat quietly through the entire thing. And I was like...
Just watching.
Like, just like in it. So that, and then when I was... I'm so bad at dates and time. We're going to go with 8.
A general... yeah. Around number 8, yeah.
My family, we grew up going to the Welk Resort. We had a timeshare there every summer, and we would go. And they have a theater there.
Right.
And especially back in the day, it was like the place.
Yeah.
And
which you've now performed at.
I've now performed at, yeah, which is crazy, full circle.
Cool.
But my parents took me to see Funny Girl.
Oh, my gosh.
And I was... like, I watched this woman, and I wish I could, like, know who it was.
Remember the name?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I watched her perform, and I was like, I have to do that. Like, I have to be that. I have to.
Yeah.
And I remember even, like, my dad copied the Funny Girl soundtrack onto not soundtrack, cast album. My friend Luke always corrects me on that.
Theater, yeah.
He's like, soundtrack? It's a cast album.
Pardon.
So the cast album, he put it on a CD for me because I was like so obsessed. And I went to my voice teacher and I was like, I have to sing the song People. Like, I have to sing it. And she was like, you're 8 years old. Like, you are not old enough to sing this song. You have she's like, do you know what the song's about? And I was like, no, it's so pretty though. So I wasn't allowed to sing it. But,
is that the one where you go back to and think of like, because we were talking about that before, is like the inkling of like, you go back to a soundtrack or a movie and you're like, oh yeah, that's right. This is why I do what I do. Oh
yeah. And I hadn't listened to it in so long. And then like, Don't Rain on My Parade, even though it's like, one of those songs that you're, like, not supposed to sing.
Yeah.
But, like, before, I mean, I'm jumping ahead, but before I went to performing arts high school, before I had gone there, I didn't know that there was even a list. Like, I didn't even know that it was something that you considered.
No, you don't know when you're just growing up.
I had no idea.
Yeah, totally.
And I went in and I had to audition for the advanced musical theater class, and I went in the first day of school, not knowing any of the kids. I'm walking in as a sophomore. And I sang Don't Rain on My Parade from Funny Girl. And, 100%. It was like exactly what you would imagine at a performing arts school.
Oh
the teacher was playing it. And I think he started by saying, like, Now, this is one of the songs that is recommended that, like, you never sing for an audition because everybody does it. And I remember I was like, I'm going to throw up. And then he was like, gosh. But when you sang it, you made the hairs on the back of my neck stand up.
Wow.
And I remember just being like, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So anyway, it's kind of like come with me, like that show and that music has kind of come with me. And then just last week I was driving and the song Funny Girl that Barbra Streisand sings in the movie, came on my shuffle and it like transported me. I was like,
you're back.
Whoa, this is so strange. Yeah. And now as an adult, hearing the music and hearing the lyrics and connecting with it in a brand new way. But yeah, so I think beautiful that music was probably it where I just kind of like saw it as a profession and like a thing, like these actors on stage, you know?
Yeah.
And I knew I loved it when I did it as a kid and everything, but your opportunities as a kid are like,
yeah,
you know,
if you're not like daily, because that's the thing too, if you're not like in the trenches as a child actor and just wanting to still be a kid as well, it's like.
And I had 3 sisters, and my parents, you know, my mom's a teacher, my dad's a pastor. Like, they're balancing their schedules, our schedules.
Life.
My sisters are doing sports, and I'm trying to do dance and youth theater and, like, all these things. So the opportunities are less. And then I finally went to a performing arts school, and I was studying with professionals and being pushed in ways I didn't even know. And that, I think, is truly where I could be like, oh, like, this is something inside of me.
That's when you knew you wanted to do it as a profession?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like, I can't deny whatever it is. And then having a professional for the first time notice me. Because in youth theater growing up, I always felt very unnoticed. I felt very like I wasn't the prettiest, thinnest, you know, whatever. Yeah, girl.
Yeah.
And so, unfortunately, when you're a kid, that's a whole other conversation. But,
of course.
You know, just kind of feeling really pushed to the back and, you know, put in the back corner, even though, like, my voice teacher and my family are like, you're amazing, you can do it. But I'm like, I'm going to be.
But it's different when you are talking to someone who has been around in the business and saying, like, oh, you have something here.
And they're telling you, like, you have to do this. Yeah. And then, so that was kind of what ignited me to be like,
the validation.
Hold on. Yeah. Like, wait, what? Somebody believes in me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Who would you say... Because you mentioned your teacher. Like, who would you say has been the most like inspiring, or like your biggest cheerleader, or the biggest like biggest mentor, or any of that?
Bill, for sure. This man, Bill. It's so funny because I was so scared of him. Like the first day.
Yeah.
Scared is the wrong word. I was
intimidated.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was so intimidated. Because everyone was like, it's Mr. Doyle, Mr. Doyle, Mr. Doyle.
Oh
like, and I was like, what?
Okay.
But he just, the way he pushes kids, and he really showed me, like, he talked to us like we were on his level. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like, okay, kids, we're all going to sit in a circle and learn an acting game.
Bethany doesn't know this song.
Yeah, it was like, and if you didn't do an assignment or something, he wouldn't yell. He'd just be like, okay. I'll never forget there was a day that I was unprepared and he called on me to go and I couldn't do it, and that's all he did, and I literally had to leave the class because I was crying. Because it impacted me. It impacted me so much.
Totally.
Oh, but for sure him. I mean, I remember that was when I did my first professional audition. Starlight was still around.
Yeah.
And he asked me, because some of the kids at the school were getting ready and like prepping their auditions, and he was helping them, and he said, are you going in? And I was like, no. And he was like, why? Yeah. And it's because I was afraid and I'd never done it.
Totally.
And he said, like, you have to go. Like, what's the worst that happens? They say no. You have to go. And I ended up getting 2 callbacks and, like, whatever. But,
but just the initial fear, getting over that is all it takes.
He's
sometimes.
just been, like, so instrumental. And then my very first professional show where I got to play Tracy in Hairspray, which was the Southern West Coast premiere of the musical.
Wow. I didn't know that. That's crazy. Oh my gosh.
And it was such a big deal, and it was so cool, and I was away at school, and I came back because he called my mom because he musically directed it. So it was like also this like full circle moment, and he called my mom and he said, like, Bethany better get her butt in there and audition.
So he's down here in San Diego saying she needs to come back down. I need her in the show.
And oh my gosh. So, one of the things you learn is like, especially in high school, one of the things we learned was, like, you have to stack your book, your audition book. Mm. So, like, if they always say, like, oh, do you actually have an up-tempo? Do you have a ballad? You're like, oh, yeah, let me go to my book. I have all these things.
Yeah.
So for that audition, I didn't. I don't know what came over me. I was like even studying it in college. Like I knew this is what you did.
Yeah.
And I didn't. I had one song in my book.
Totally.
And they asked me for a ballad after I sang my song.
Like,
and I literally was like, and he was playing the piano in the room. And I said, I don't. And he said from behind the piano, you don't?
Oh, no.
And I was like, no.
Oh, how
and he was like, okay. And so they made me do my up-tempo, but as a ballad.
What was the up-tempo?
It was Let's Hear It for the Boy. From
Foot.
Yeah, and so he's brilliant. He's a brilliant pianist. So he was playing it like all twinkly music.
Yeah.
And I had to like sing it anyway. So and he literally
man.
he closed my book and he said like, don't ever let that happen again. And I was like, I won't. I ended up booking it. But then to like get to walk into that experience with him, it was just so cool. And then now he's retired, and he's now my voice teacher.
Incredible. I love that.
But for sure him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was the first person who opened my eyes to this as a reality of a career. And like, I was someone who was very much like, I don't know if I want to go to college. I don't know if that's the right path for me. Like, so many of my classmates were auditioning for NYU and Berkeley and, like, all the places. Boston Conservatory. And I was just like, I don't know. And he sat me down and he's like, there are some people that go to school and there are some people that just do it. And he said, I have faith that you could just do it.
Yeah. But even you mentioned filling your book and stuff like that. Like, those kind of tools, tricks of the trades, you know, I didn't learn until way later in college.
Right.
So it's like the fact that you knew in high school, like...
Oh, yeah. It was crazy. I mean, so, like, segueing, my parents, obviously, like, have been nothing but encouraging and supportive. And my mom, it's so funny. You, like, hear these stories... Again, I'm talking about being an adult so much because I'm old. But you hear these stories, like your parents like telling stories of things that they did that as a kid in the moment you had no idea they were doing for you.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
And I had a really hard time in school growing up. I moved schools a bunch. I had dealt with some bullying. Like it was, you know, the whole thing.
Kids are the worst. Yeah.
Seriously. So I was in a public high school that had no arts program. And we had to take a drama class because it was required. And my lowest grade my freshman year was in my drama class. And my mom was like, something's wrong. Like, what is going on? My mom championed for me to go to SCPA, San Diego School of Creative and Performing Arts. And they were doing a lottery program at the time. So they basically just like drew names, you got on a waiting list. And so about 2 weeks after I started at my public high school, I found out I got in. But I was
you won the lottery.
I won the lottery. 96,000.
I won the lotto. Yeah.
Glad we were on the same page.
I got you.
Also, like, seeing Heights coming to theaters. Yeah. So I got in. My mom was like, you got in? And I was like, no way. Like, I just started at a public school that had, like, thousands of kids, and I, like, navigated my way through. I was like, there's no way. Like, I'm not switching schools.
Oh, my gosh.
But then after my drama grade being so low, and me, like, losing all interest and, like, because it was just too hard. It was too hard to want it and not have it and whatever.
Was it an immediate flip when you got there?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. I mean, SCPA was everything. It was, like... the coolest school. It was like, you know, everyone was so, it was weird because everyone had their thing, but also everyone was also so welcoming.
Just inclusive.
Yeah, it was so inclusive, and it normalized so many things in my life, like the LGBTQ plus community and different people of color and backgrounds. And because
we were 16, 17, you're learning this.
Because all of us were getting bussed in anyway. So I would get up every morning at 5:45 and I would catch the bus like no later. I think our bus picked us up at 6:07.
Yeah.
And then we would ride the bus to school. You do your day of school, and then you ride it back, and then if you're rehearsing for a show, you had to take late bus. So, that, like, if I was rehearsing for a show, I wasn't getting home till, like, 6 or 7 p.m.
Yeah.
But it was just so amazing because it was, like, You have first period math, and then you could have second period choir, and then you could have third period dance, and then you could have advanced musical theater. You could have
classes you were interested in.
Yeah, and the balance of it all, like, was really cool. And then if you were in a show, they did the system called pullouts. So instead of having tech rehearsals after school, you had it during the school day.
Oh,
and all of your teachers knew about it. So you basically would get these packets of your work, and then they know, like, oh, you're gone this week because you're in pullouts because you're doing this. And
you're not getting marked down for work you missed.
Exactly.
That's cool.
And the teachers all came to see the shows, and the students would come see the shows, and we would kind of get to, like, test it out. So it was just really cool, and we just got some really neat opportunities. And but all that to say, my mom, circling back, my mom, I learned that when she saw my grade being low in my drama class, she called SEPA every single day and asked about the waiting list, asked about the waiting list, asked about the waiting list. Wow. And then eventually the woman was like, you know what? I was like third on the waiting list.
Yeah.
And my mom was just like, oh my gosh. And the woman was like, you know what? You've been so diligent and you've called, like, I'm putting her in the school. And my mom was like, I fell to my knees and I started crying.
Mama Slomka.
But it's just crazy because I didn't know that. And I'm sure when she told me, like, you got an SCPA, I was probably like, okay. Like, I was probably like a little brat.
Thanks,
you know
Mom.
what I mean? Like, whatever. Thanks, Mom. Not knowing that, like, she spent all of her free time while keeping us alive and working and doing all the things. Like, you know.
When you realize,
Yeah.
So
anyway, that was a long-winded way of saying, like, my parents are great supporters.
But do you now, like, you talk about how much support you got growing up and as a kid who wanted to be a part of this world. What do you now, and I think about this too, like any of us who have taught, you know, it's like, what is like the main goal that you like come into a theater class or any workshop that you do? Like, what's something that you want to make sure they take away from
that I'm teaching?
Yeah.
Like if I'm teaching?
Yeah.
That's
whether it be
hard.
whatever you're specifically,
yeah.
you know.
So there's two different things because if it, like, I want them to take away some sort of skill, like some
Obviously,
sort of, you know, the craft, but like theater is such a place where the not normal, you know, the other, I hate that word, but like, you know, just like the people who kind of feel like they don't, or they don't really belong, or they don't really have their crew, or they don't really know where they fit in.
Totally.
It's like theater is that place. Like theater is like, come on, be weird with us. Like we got you.
Be weird together.
So I guess my biggest thing is I want students to feel like safe and seen and taken care of, and I want them to feel like they can be brave and push themselves. And then like in like a craft way, I guess my specialty when I teach, that sounds so gross. But is acting through song. So, you know, everyone's a good singer. Like everyone can sing, but you have, if you can tell a story and if you can connect to that material, like, that's it.
If there
that's
was
what it's
no
all about.
music behind this, would you still be acting?
Yeah, because like, honestly, that's what the whole thing is. It's like telling stories, and like that's our superpower. Like that's how we get to connect with the human race, and we get to make people feel seen, or we get to be an escape from whatever it is that their life is, and you know. So, if you can effectively like pour yourself into the music, then
let people,
you're doing your job.
Allow
you're gonna
people open up.
Yeah.
Totally. Is there like, we talked about this a little bit, but are there like preconceived notions about actors or theater that you wish people like that you know are wrong that people wish, or is there stuff that you wish like people knew more about theater?
Yeah.
Besides like the obvious ones of like, you know, we're humans, be nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think people think it's like super glamorous, and it's really not. It's like pretty like sweaty and smelly, and you're in smelly costumes, and you're
still hugging each other sweaty.
Yeah, 100%. Even like on Broadway, like at the top, it's like when you go backstage, these dressing rooms and these hallways and these things are like, I don't know, it's just not as glamorous as one may think, and also like. There's no one path. Like there's, like, yes, there's Broadway, and that's amazing. But like some of the best art is being made in the most smallest
Most
regional
unknown,
houses like across the world, and so I think I don't know, I just want to do it. Like, I think like that's the thing about theater, and maybe this is me generalizing like TV and film, but because there isn't as much money, there can be, I guess, if you're like a big star and you're at the top, but like a lot of theater actors are doing it because they literally can't do anything else, because their soul, like, this is what their soul requires.
It fills your bucket.
Yeah.
Totally.
Whether or not you're getting paid $1 or $1,500 an hour. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's, I don't know if that answered the question.
Well, no, totally. Like, I was talking about this with my therapist the other day. It's like,
yes, therapy.
Hey, shout out therapy.
Also, all actors need therapy.
Yeah, verb energy. There you go.
Also, verb shout out.
Yep. But we were saying, like, she was asking me, like, what fills your bucket?
Yeah.
And I was just thinking about, we've gone now over a year without, much of an arts outlet. And that kind of stuff just fuels me to just keep going. Yeah. So,
just like being around it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
sitting in it. Yeah.
One of my best friends, Luke, shout out Luke Harvey Jacobs.
Yes.
He had gotten a job working for a dance competition company. They like put up dance competitions.
Nice.
And it was like over weekends, and he was traveling like this. He got this during the pandemic, and he was saying it was so much work and it was so exhausting, but just being in the atmosphere of a theater like organization of these people coming together, working so hard as a team to like build the stages and build the things. And he was just like, I just realized, like, I just love being there. It's the atmosphere, and it's like a certain type of person. Like, you always know when somebody's a theater person because of how they are, who they are, how they interact with people.
Personality.
Yeah, and it's a tight community, and
people don't realize how small it is.
Oh my gosh, and it just gets smaller. Like, the more years now that I have had in this world, it's like the bubble gets smaller and smaller and smaller.
Coming home and seeing it. It was the last hairspray you did, the SDMT, and seeing that, like, it was someone from, like, my childhood, from my current work, from my previous college, like, all these people, just
isn't
connections.
It wild?
It's like,
I know. It's amazing.
It's a great family. It's a great family.
It really is.
Yeah. If someone played you in a movie, who would you want it to be?
Oh, Kelly Clarkson.
Done.
I don't know if she can act.
But she's killing the game right now.
But she's Kelly Clarkson.
So, yeah.
Or Sarah Bareilles. Those are like my two, like, my girls. Those are my girls.
Those are my girls. You're my homie. Hey, Sarah, if you're watching this, Verb Energy. Check this out.
Shout out. Use our promo code. Whatever it is.
Done.
Tyler. What is the promo code?
Tyler. it's the link on Instagram.
We're moving on. We're moving on.
Yeah.
It's not Tyler.
No.
The producer's shaking his head.
Did you want to ask him?
Yeah. What actor would you want to be or have their career?
Ooh.
Actor or actress?
Yeah.
Actor or actress?
Yeah. Whoever.
Yeah. Gender's not a problem.
Yeah.
Anybody.
Yeah. Never.
Yeah.
Gender. Never heard of her.
Who is she? Send her home.
She's not welcome here anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe Brian Darcy James.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Done.
Maybe Christian Borle. Borle? Is that how you say his last name?
Yeah.
So many men.
I know,
Yeah.
for sure.
Just want to be the man.
I mean, I'm thinking about like the obvious, like Sutton Foster, Lindsay Mendez.
Yes.
I'm obsessed with her.
Yeah.
Jesse Mueller. Pretty much people who seem like they're also really good people. Like,
the genuine.
Like Lindsay Mendez just seems like
Good-hearted.
a good-hearted human.
Yeah.
And that's the funny thing about Broadway actors and actresses, like the ones who you hear about are always the ones that seem the most genuine in the interviews and all that fun stuff. So, go-to karaoke song?
I hate karaoke.
No.
Really?
Oh my gosh, I hate it.
Really?
I hate it. Even though growing up, my mom said that hate was only used for cancer and war and the devil. But
Oh my god.
so that shows you how strong.
Wow. Is it just from like
What
people
about
just
it?
continuing to ask you like sing for us?
Yes,
like,
I think that, and also like growing up, my nanny would always be like, we'd be like on family cruises, and she'd be like, "You're not gonna sing for your grandma."
Yeah.
Like, it's my only wish. It's my only wish. So we're on a cruise ship. I'm like 10 years old singing like Reflection from Mulan. I Will Always Love You, Whitney
the
Houston.
Christina Aguilera one.
Obviously, with the riffs.
Yeah.
Hello.
Totally.
Christina Aguilera.
Hey.
But a lot of Whitney Houston, I Will Always Love You.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I think it is. I think it comes from that of like, I'm also such a perfectionist. So
Yeah.
if I'm not rehearsed, I am a ball of stress. Like I'm like,
I can't do it.
I can't do it. I don't know the words. I don't know like what how do I know if I'm gonna sing or not? Like yeah. So I don't have one. But you just heard my 2 from childhood.
Yeah. So
I should like learn a rap or something.
now for my birthday, you know what I want.
Ooh, what? Oh no.
Look at me.
I literally I'm gonna like start sweating just thinking about it. Okay. I'll start rehearsing.
Yeah.
For the karaoke.
Other than theater, did you have a dream job as a kid? Because like everybody grows up like, I want to be a vet. I want to be an astronaut.
Yeah. I actually said
She's
that.
like actually a vet.
Yeah.
So.
I'm an astronaut
An astronaut vet.
for animals on Mars.
Thank you.
Do not look at me like that, John.
John, our producer, is looking at that.
Yeah, literally giving me a weird look, shaking his head.
He's like,
We should just make the show play-by-play of what John's reactions are.
Yes.
we need a camera on John
Yeah.
at all times. Yeah. We'll get there.
What was the question?
Oh, well.
Dream job.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
That
yeah,
isn't
I
arts.
actually wanted to be an interior designer.
Really?
Yeah, which is weird
First
because
time.
I'm like not really good at it. because
But do
I
you
get
know
really
it when you see it?
overwhelmed. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh, I love that, but I get really overwhelmed by all of those decisions you have to make, and then hello, what was that?
Our light just fell.
Oh, okay. But
It's
then
because you said you hated something.
yeah,
Interior design.
the devil's like,
done.
Yeah. Design. Yeah.
But I also think I loved Will and Grace reruns, and Grace Adler is an interior designer, and so I just thought it looked so glamorous. They have this like great New York apartment, and now I'm like, that apartment would be
You want to be a designer for the apartment.
100%, 100%.
Yeah. I want to be like Friends and have the apartment, but just be broke. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I need us to watch that. The
Okay.
reunion. Have you seen it?
I've watched it.
How it?
Oh, it's so emotional.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Done.
It's so good.
This is going to be a Friends viewing party after this.
Turning
Be the
quickly
show.
turning into.
Yeah, in the round with the cast of Friends.
Yeah.
Verb.
I
energy.
also, for a second, thought I wanted to be a worship pastor
Yeah.
because my dad was a pastor, and I was very involved in the church. And
You
I
sung at Sunday. Yeah.
yeah, even though I again like hated singing worship when they would have like the youth group lead worship.
Yeah.
I like would be so nervous and get so weird about it, but I grew up like every Christmas singing "O Holy Night," and you know my sisters and I would sing, and
Totally.
so I thought, and that was like when fear was like a huge part of it. I was like, well, I guess I'll just be a worship pastor because I can use my gifts and
Right. Can use my gifts. That's real. Yeah. But it's you.
But I didn't go that route.
Yeah.
No regrets.
But it's the story stuff, like you're saying.
The story
though.
stuff.
That
Yeah,
gets,
that's
you know.
what it is for me.
Yeah. Anna, what else you got? That's going to be a part of the show. Just Anna.
Yeah. Go.
Anna, question.
What would you say is your most challenging role that you've played?
Ooh.
Hmm.
In any way.
This web show.
Yeah.
This.
Yeah.
I think Tracy in Hairspray, especially playing it. So I played it at 20, I played it at 23, and then I played it at 28. Playing it at 28 was so hard. Like,
Really?
oh my gosh, it was
I feel like that
so
would be
much harder.
the one you would come back to and have all the I knew what I did before.
Well, I think because I was the issue with repeating is that you compare yourself to yourself. And so I was just like, oh, but I was able to sing this without fail every single, you know what I mean? Like, there are just certain things that, like, I could compare it to. And I kind of took a little hiatus from theater, just personal life things happening for a couple of years. And so that was like, back in. Yeah, I mean, you really have to build the stamina and you have to like really.
But did you have a better idea of like the character?
100%. And like, that's the thing. Stuff. That's the tricky thing is it's like, I was able to connect with it. Yeah. In a way that I never understood and found things in a deeper way. Yeah. And that role is just a beast. I mean, you start the show, you end the show. It's nonstop. The amount of sweat, I mean, the amount of, like, people sneaking, like, sweat rags into their things. So, like, when I would have a minute to turn on stage, because you're also, like, you know, you have, and the first time I did it, I had a fat suit, 2 mics in the fat suit, which they put under the boobs.
Thanks.
The wig, you have the shirt, you have the dress, you have the backpack, like, and you're, like, she's just, like, running around the stage at all times. So it's just, like, chaos. Playing the narrator in Joseph was also, it's just one of the most vocally demanding things.
It's vocal stamina.
Oh my gosh. And it's all you. So it's like you can't have an off night. So that's really when I learned, like, I don't get to hang out with the cast. Like, I don't get to do those fun things. I have to, like, be quiet and not talk to people.
Throat coat it up.
Yeah. And that's also part of it. Like, it's not always like glamorous and like going out like sometimes. And I remember like when I was a kid listening to an interview with Idina Menzel from Wicked, and she
never heard of her.
Yeah. And like just even hearing interviews where she's like she wouldn't talk on the phone because when she would talk on the phone she realized her voice would slip into like a place that like wasn't healthy. Like you know, there's like things like that it's like
you don't even think about.
Yes, you're starring on Broadway, but you're sacrificing like all of these other things to have a normal life.
Yeah. Was there a most fun production you were in? Or fun role?
Yes. There was. Sister Act was, I've done that show twice.
Yeah.
Both times, some of the most fun I've ever had on stage.
That's a fun show.
It's just so fun. And that character was like the perfect amount of like featured, so I get to like have a little thing, but then also like not, so I got to just like play with all the other women and like... Sister Mary Patrick, the Kathy Najimy character.
Yeah, so fun.
Yeah, that was so fun. And honestly, okay, I did Sunset Boulevard at Moonlight.
Oh, yeah.
And I was in maybe 4 scenes in the back corner.
Yeah.
But we had some of the most fun I've ever had with a group of people in my entire life. Like, it was the nonsense that went on, the games, the tricks.
It's the crew. It's the
squad and, like, just, I mean, it sounds so unprofessional, but the things that we would do, like, to make each other laugh and to, like...
While you're on stage.
While we're on stage. It was, we played a lot of games and that kind of stuff. So, that was really fun. So we had time. We had lots of time.
Those are some of the most fun shows.
And I will say, something I've learned... I feel like I'm missing so many things in my brain from things over the last year, but ensembles work their asses off. Like ensembles, I feel like there's like not enough credit. Like it's all about the star, but like the ensemble of every show for the most part is the star. Like they do so much. They do all the heavy lifting. They're the ones running around behind the scenes. They're the ones quick changing and playing all the different characters and learning all the choreography. They're also understudying all the characters. Like they're just
swinging
they do so much, and that's
the star is moving at the front doing the step touch while everyone's
moving around them, and they're like not sweating. They're like hi.
Sees the day is happening behind them.
It's fine.
Exactly. Oh man. Do we have any more? What are we thinking?
Yeah. Speaking of swings, have you ever been a swing?
Ooh. I have not been a swing.
Have you been on a swing?
I have been on a swing.
Okay, cool.
I understudied once. I'm going to be understudying a project that I will talk about.
Yeah.
Not now.
That's the crazy thing. It's like there's projects now.
Yeah.
We're filming this June. Now it's June of 2021, and there's projects happening.
Yeah.
Like things are opening back up, and it's like, you know, it gives you a little hope.
It really does.
Yeah.
Things are happening, moving and shaking. Yeah. I would be so intimidated. I mean, that is so much work.
Yeah.
You had people's like all of the different tracks and traffic and harmonies, and it's crazy. Costume changes, it's wild.
Yeah, totally. Do we want to venue into our topic?
Yeah.
Yeah. So our topic today that we have you in the room for. This will be fun. Your most rewarding performance or theater moment.
Okay.
Or your most humiliating, embarrassing theater moment. And you can say both. If you want
to. My most rewarding is easy. Mm-hmm. Well, it's not easy because I've been very fortunate. Mm-hmm. But right before the shutdown in February of 2020, I had the opportunity to do a reading of Little Women.
Oh my gosh, it was beautiful.
And thank you.
I saw it.
And I got to play Jo March, which I wasn't even supposed to play. And then the woman who was supposed to do it was in another show, and so they moved me up. And I was like, okay, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. You knocked it out of the freaking park.
Thank you. It was one of those things where I had some vocal issues a couple of years ago, and I legitimately thought, like, I can't sing. I'll never be able to sing again. Like, it was so, and like just the mental and emotional toll that took, and just there were just so many things that like anyway.
And that show isn't a cakewalk either.
Not at all.
Especially for Jo, she's.
And so doing that show was, I mean, also like I'm one of 4 girls, and so we grew up watching the Winona Ryder version, and we were obsessed with it. And in our lineup, I'm Beth, and my name is Bethany. So growing up, that was always the thing. I was like, of course, I'm the one that gets sick and dies. Sure. So that was always the thing with the sisters.
Yeah, you're flying kites. Your whole childhood.
Yeah. So. Anyway, just getting to do this material was really meaningful just because, I mean, who doesn't love the story? But, like, it's really meaningful to my sisters and I. Mm-hmm. And
a family of all those sisters.
Yeah. And so, anyway, getting just to do that material was amazing. And then I, like, proved to myself that I could do things that I didn't even know I could do.
Dare I say astonishing?
You said it.
I hate myself.
But just even like in an acting way, in a vocal way, like all the ways. And there was like something palpable in the room that night. Like you were there.
Yeah.
There was there was just like an energy. Like it was just a small reading in a 100-seat theater. And it was just like, I can't even describe it, but I left being changed. Like I left like, and like the audience response, like I had tons of friends come see it that were like weeping while they hugged me afterward, like who couldn't find the words to like speak with me. And my sisters came, 2 of my sisters who live in San Diego came, and they both were crying throughout the whole thing. And Bobby even shed a tear, and like, it was
Bobby
just.
Bobby never cries.
Bobby what? Shout out to my man Bobby. But it was just this really moving night, and 2 of my best friends, Lauren and Luke, had come, and they were so moved. And so it was really moving for me to see them so moved. Mm-hmm. And my friend Luke, he was like, I was literally like holding my face because I was crying so hard.
Yeah.
And Lauren was like, I had a moment where I was like, okay, like, we're going to see her on Broadway someday. Like, we're going to see, like, anyway, just like, and, just, I don't know. It was just a really, really sweet, special moment.
Almost validating again.
Yeah, 100%.
That performance, if we talk about, like, moments of, like, oh, this is why I do what I do.
Yeah.
Like, you reminded people again, like, oh, this is why we come to the theater. Like.
Yeah, and that's what, like, proves how special this art form is, too, because, again, it was, like, a random Monday night in a small theater in Carlsbad, California.
It was only one show, right?
We did 2 nights, yeah.
Yeah. Crazy.
That, like, it, in the grand scheme of things is nothing, but, like, the people in that room were creating something that's never going to be recreated, that's never going to be the same as it was captured in that moment. Mm-hmm. And it was life-changing, and all the people who were there, like, experienced something really special.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, it was... And I think you have to be willing to do those shows in order to do the big shows. Like, if you can't be satisfied by just doing that, you're never going to be satisfied in this career.
No, never. I love those little ones more.
Honestly,
you can get to the point.
There's an artistic, like, quality to them that can't be. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no chandelier, but Yeah.
4-year-old me is really bummed about that.
Let's talk about humiliating.
Okay, sure.
Let's knock you down.
No, yeah, let's knock me down. I've had a few.
Rock and roll.
Well, I was in a Christmas show in 2020 and starring Eric Martzoff from Days of Our Lives.
Wow.
I know. And there was this scene, I don't really remember, but something happened where there was a stool missing from like the stage. And so I thought I was being really smart and like helping by move a stool. Like we finished a song. It was supposed to be like one of those old timey like who's at the door Christmas specials, and then like someone walks in and then they sing a song.
Howdy ho, neighbors. Yeah.
Exactly. Totally. It was supposed to be like one of those. And so we finished a song. They were going into the next song, which was Baby It's Cold Outside. 2 people.
Not that.
I thought I was being really helpful because basically there's like this bar. There's a bar and a stool, and like because it was reversed, like she was singing to him, like why don't you stay?
Maybe
and she's like crawling on the bar, and then he has to sit on the stool to help her down. And we had noticed like, and there was like hubbub before like the stools, there's a stool missing, whatever.
Stool? Yeah.
So I thought I was being like super helpful and bringing the missing stool like on stage, but I don't really remember what happened, but I realized I went and grabbed the stool and went to walk off stage realizing that they need that stool for her to climb on the bar. So then I like turn around and like go to put the stool back, and then he's standing there and they're having this dialogue across me. I'm caught in the middle and I'm running into him and he's like looking at me like, what are you doing? Like, get off the stage. And then I like turn to like leave and like she's just like so confused, like looking at me. And it was like, oh my gosh, like, I felt like I was in a nightmare.
Trying to
like,
help.
Oh my gosh. And to the audience, they probably were like, what? Like, that girl, what's happening? She's lost. Like, I just kept like running into people and things, and, like trying to get off the stage. And it was like, just a duet, so it wasn't like I could like cover myself.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it was like 30 seconds, but of course to me it felt like a solid 10 minutes, you know?
Of course, yeah.
And then
everything goes slow motion.
Really my claim to fame though was my first show ever, my first full show, youth
I've heard
theater.
this story. This is good.
I was a tap dancing golden spoon in The Beauty and the Beast, as you do.
Yep.
It was a knockoff version. It wasn't the Disney version, but it was a different version.
Rights. Yeah.
And so I think I was in a total of 3 songs in the whole thing, and I got really nervous. Like, I would wait backstage, like, 4 numbers before I had to be on.
Yeah, you're just watching.
Yeah. And I was waiting there, and I told one of the older crew kids that I really needed to use the restroom. And she was like, no, you don't have time. You're going to be late. Well, it was opening night. I was really nervous. And so I peed my pants right backstage.
Perfect.
And I looked at her and I just was like, I peed my pants. And she was like, okay. And mind you, we were in a hooded unitard.
Yeah.
Harnessed into a wooden
spoon.
I say a wooden unitard?
No. You
said it right.
A golden unitard.
Yeah. Golden
okay.
unitard. A wooden unitard.
Wooden unitard. I don't know why I thought I said that. Okay. And then we were harnessed into these like wooden utensils. And tap shoes, obviously.
Yeah.
Kid stuff.
Yeah. And so there wasn't like any hiding what happened. So then one of the very kind older kids like took me and like rushed me to the bathroom, and I was like crying because I'd only made it on for one number. And then I will never forget Claremont High School, and we're going into the bathroom and 2 forks are coming out of the bathroom, and I was like, I would have made it. Like, those forks just went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I'm a spoon, and we're all in this together. So I had to sit out for my last 2 numbers. I didn't get to participate, and
the whole show.
Yeah, I literally think I made it on for like 1 song, and I thought I was being so clever, and I was like, yeah, I sat in orange juice. And it's so funny now because now I'm like, the older kids know what I mean? Like, everyone knew. And they'd like send me they did dry clean the costume, and my mom was really upset because my family was also really confused because they're all like, her first show, second row, and
your whole extended family's there, like, watching you.
It's fine. And I peed my pants opening night. So I was thriving when I was little.
Do you have like a show you laughed the hardest during?
Ooh. Show I laugh the hardest during.
Like you were talking about, like, just nonsense happening during the show.
Yes. Noises Off is a play.
You were in Noises Off?
No, I wasn't in it. Oh, I thought you meant like by watching a show.
Oh, no,
like
no.
A show that
Like,
makes you laugh. That's why I was like, what?
I was like, no. Yeah,
Sorry,
when you're
you
in
can
a
edit
show.
that out.
Yeah. No, it's all going in. It's all sticking in there.
We're actually live.
Yeah. We're live on Broadway.
All of Broadway's watching.
Yeah. Get all the money
Okay,
tonight.
wait. Ask again.
No, just rewind.
Yeah.
The show you were in that you laughed the hardest during.
Probably Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah. That one.
Because I'm telling you, we were doing the most. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like there's this really beautiful, iconic song called "As If We Never Said Goodbye,"
Right.
and it's about the star Norma Desmond.
Mm.
Glenn Close famously played it.
Of course.
And she's singing this like really incredible 11 o'clock number, and there's like a famous like movie scene being acted out, and we're all like kind of like not in slow motion, but just like, you know, in the background. It's like painting this really pretty picture that we're like on this Hollywood lot, and this film is happening, but she's like the washed up actress, and she's kind of like, you know, and so we had like marks where it was like, okay, and this is when we're filming, this is when we're not filming, you know, whatever. And I was the like seamstress.
Wow.
And I know. And so, and we were like setting the scene. And so I'd be like working on someone, and my friend Luke, shout out Luke Harvey Jacobs. He was playing he was the director's assistant, and he always would put a cigarette, like a fake cigarette, like hanging out of his mouth.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding, top corner platform. And he would always pretend like I was in the shot. So he'd always like look at me and go like this. And everyone in the cast would like laugh like everyone, and these girls had to pose, and they were in these like beaded outfits, and then they would start laughing, and you could just see their beads, but they were frozen. So like their beads would just be shaking. So like we just like did all of those kinds of pranks, and like there was one night where like the beads, like the strand of beads were in like one of the dance breaks, so then someone like literally just like came on with a broom and started like cleaning up, because we like were like on a lot, like people would pass notes.
Oh my gosh.
There was there was a female number in Act 2, like all girls, and we're supposed to be like her team of like, we're like the masseuses and the nail technicians and like all the people like getting her ready. And again, we were in like 4 scenes, and we happened to have a quick change into that. So it was always like a rush, and like sometimes like our friend Lisa, like her wig wouldn't like fully get on right. So like it would be like really pulled back, and so she looked like Judy's from And hi, Judy's. And so there was once where she like looked up at us, like
upstairs.
we're all like, you know, pretending to like do her nails and stuff. She looked up and we all just like died. Like there was just like stuff like that where you're just like, an audience member probably wouldn't know, but to us we were laughing on stage laughing, like that kind of stuff.
Totally.
Because we just weren't really in much, so we just
I love that.
messed around a lot.
Oh my gosh. Bethany, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Sorry, I talked a lot.
No, talk more. We'll be right back with you. We're going to play a game in a little bit. But first, we're going to go to our Artist Spotlight. The Artist Spotlight is a moment during the show where we feature an up-and-coming artist, a musician, a singer, a performer, whoever. Today, we have Cheyenne Benton with her new song, Too Much. I hope you guys enjoy it. Take it away.
To waste. I'm an independent woman who needs a space, and if there's something on your mind, you can say it to my face. I could be your ride or die. Yeah, you know I love the chase. I'm married to my vision, in love with success, dedicated to ambition and making progress. And when it's good, I'm the best you've ever had. Oh, but when the tables turn, I can make
That was Cheyenne Benton with Too Much. If you want to find out more about her, you can find her on her website and her Instagram. She's amazing and she's super talented. If you also want to be part of our Artist Spotlight, message us on our Instagram, In the Round with Tyler Tafolla. That's at In the Round with Tyler Tafolla. Bethany.
Hi.
Hannah.
Hi.
Do you want to do a game?
Yes.
Guys, we're going to do a little unknown game called Heads Up.
Oh my gosh.
You guys know the drill. So this is a game where it's pretty much charades. One of you will be... I don't know how to explain this game.
the person with the thing.
Yeah. One of us will have it on her head.
Yeah.
Going like this. The other two will be trying to get me to,
To guess
Without
what's on
saying
there.
what's
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah.
Go team.
Yeah. We got there.
Okay. I'll start it off. Which one do you want to do first? Acting it out, blockbuster movies, or icons, legends, and stars. Either one of those, I will probably not
Acting
get.
out might
right
be
away.
hard.
Acting
in this
out would be
space.
hard in the space, yeah.
In
We
this
have to be like
space.
here, which we could too.
Blockbuster movies.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, let's do it.
I'm nervous.
I'm nervous.
Okay, get ready. 3, 2, 1.
Johnny Depp and
It's not vanilla, but it's
yes.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
No.
no.
Willy Wonka.
No.
It's
What's the opposite
first-
of vanilla?
Chocolate.
But if you were to say it with like
Chocolate.
accent.
an accent.
Chocolate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh shoot.
Oh, Tiffany Haddish, Queen Latifah,
yeah.
Regina.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know her last name.
not sure.
Jada
Haddish.
Pinkett Smith. They go to New Orleans for the Essence Fest. Okay, skip.
yeah.
I'm really bad at this.
Oh, Cars.
Yeah.
Cars.
Vin Diesel.
Cars and Christmas.
Yeah.
And Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel. Oh, Pacifier?
No.
Vin Diesel?
Yeah. So if you.
Oh, Fast and Furious.
No.
Die Hard?
Yes.
Yeah.
Vin Diesel? No,
I was
that's
wrong.
Oh, our governor.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Terminator?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, not. Okay.
It's not
got
Vin Diesel.
one.
Who was I thinking? Who was the star
I
of
don't
that
know.
one? What's his actual name?
Vin Diesel?
No.
No, in
Die Hard.
Hard.
Oh, Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis. Thank you.
Willis.
I
Thank
was
you.
like Vin Diesel.
No,
and
I
Vin
just
Diesel.
thought a bald guy,
Yeah.
you know.
All right.
Okay.
Here you go. And we can chop this down if
Yeah.
you need to.
Swipe to play again.
The same category if you want to do that category.
Is that what we're doing? Sure.
you want.
Okay.
If you want to.
Well,
Okay,
what's
here we go.
happening?
Done.
Can you see?
Yeah, I can see. Oh, they're gangsters. Not bad,
yeah.
but
Good.
yeah, it's the good.
The good guys.
No.
Close.
The
What's
good
another
fellas.
word? Yes.
Up or down?
Down. Oh, Christmas,
Christmas
Santa.
movie.
He's the real Santa.
The Santa Claus.
No,
Elf.
with
it's
Matilda
the-
in it. The girl who's Matilda.
Oh, Miracle on 34th
Yeah.
Street.
Yes. Oh, Blank of the Opera,
Phantom.
and this is a
Line.
Not a string,
not
but
a string, but a
Wire.
like when you sew, it's a needle and
Thread.
Yeah.
Yes.
Phantom thread.
Yeah.
Yes.
there you go.
Oh, da, 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 da. She's superhero. DC.
Oh, Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did it happen?
Oh.
Oh. The
It's not Christmas Vacation.
Vacation. It's
No.
No.
It's
Easter.
Skip. You won't get this. Not false, but
true.
and not the truth, but
False. Fake.
it was True Lies.
dead. That's funny.
That's hard.
I don't
They
know a
would-
lot of these movies, so I might not be good at guessing them.
Oh my god.
That'll make it even more fun.
Okay.
I can act it out.
Let's do it. Act it out.
Okay.
Why not?
Yeah, just Tyler acting
Yeah.
out. It's incredible. I'll use my hands.
Okay.
Yeah.
It'll be really helpful, I'm sure.
Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. Dum, bum, bum,
Marching?
bum.
Yep.
Yep.
I'll do it again.
Partly. Oh, I'm.
Spinning.
Ha! Yeah, stretch.
Acrobatics.
Close.
Gymnastics.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, football.
No word.
Oh shoot. Oh,
Running.
yeah.
But
Oh, marathon.
Yes.
yeah.
Oh. Woo.
Three.
Yep.
Third. 3.
Not B, but.
No words!
Whoa!
Oh.
Winking? Popping a cork? Popping champagne?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I did it! I suck at this. Oh.
Bungee jumping?
Yes!
Yay!
Yay!
Tyler would be like, I'll act it out. Okay, it's not a 3 words. First word.
Sounds like.
Words! Okay. We'll do
was
one more
great.
each. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Want to do icons, legends, and stars?
I would
Why
love
not?
to.
That one or pop culture?
Pop culture might be easier.
Yeah.
Pop culture might be easier.
For
Okay.
you youngins. Remember how I've talked about how old I am?
Gosh.
Oh, Prince Harry's mom.
Oh, Queen.
Nope. Okay. Basketball.
Space Jam. Michael Jordan.
No, another one.
He's in the new Space Jam, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
LeBron?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Couldn't tell
singing Montero and
Nope.
Basketball.
also basketball, but a team.
It's a team.
The Lakers?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll put a spell on you.
Oh, Ben Miller.
No.
Hocus Pocus.
Yes.
Yes.
That's Ben Midler.
I don't know what that
Don't
is.
know.
Okay.
Oh, Queen.
Queen.
Latifah.
Lead singer of Queen.
Oh, Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
Basketball.
Michael Jordan?
No.
Shaquille.
Coach?
He's also in the Lakers, right? Yeah, he's in the Lakers.
I thought he was a coach.
It's a
but
theater
okay.
podcast.
That's it. Yeah.
That's it.
Cool.
Why were there so many sports ones?
Yeah, maybe not pop icons or whatever it is.
Great work, everybody.
Yay.
We did it.
We did it. Yeah, let's end this with
This
sports.
is on a high note.
With
Yes.
a sports recap. Yeah, for sure.
Hello? Yeah, sports? Thank you. I'll call back.
Great.
Okay. Well, guys, that's our show tonight. We'll give it up one more time, Bethany Slomka. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks for having me.
Bethany, where can everybody find you?
At bslom on Instagram.
Hey, there it is.
I think I'm on TikTok. I think that might be my handle on TikTok. I don't really do anything.
You feel the TikTok.
But try it.
Yeah. Try it out. See
Try
how
it
it
out.
goes.
See how it feels.
Yeah. Let me know later.
Yeah.
We'll find out next week. Yeah. Anna, thank you for sticking around, being there for me. Thank you guys, everybody, so much. Remember, the arts have the ability to heal, and during this time, we could all use some of that, and we hope we can provide that for you, and we hope you all stick around. Follow us at Instagram at In The Round with Tyler Tafolla, also on Facebook and YouTube. Subscribe. I've been Tyler Tafolla. Have a great night, everybody. Bye. And that's... See you around.